Resurrection. I'm Pastor Matthew. Welcome today, and we're asking a question. Is Easter going to stink? And the answer is no. It might very well be the best Easter you've ever had. Now, why do I say that? What evidence do I have that Easter, that when we celebrate the resurrection this Sunday, it's going to be the best that you have? Well, I'll tell you why. Because church is not about bricks and mortar. Church is not about a big production. Church, the only production that happens at Easter is the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead and his spirit that resurrects you. And all over the world, Christians are going to gather in a unique, special way. I flinch when I say unique because actually it's not unique. Christians have been celebrating the resurrection of Jesus in small groups in their homes since day one. And this Easter is going to be a special time for us to go deep in our souls and say, God, this thing isn't about a big production. It's not about all the candy or the trappings or even maybe traveling or doing special things or even having some kind of special service where you all go to church and have a special event like some kind of spiritual Super Bowl. Listen, the Super Bowl has already been won. Jesus has been resurrected from the dead. And from day one, Christians have been gathering in a unique and special, authentic way in their homes to celebrate the resurrection. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, if you look at the Bible, Christians have been meeting in their homes since the resurrection. So very early, like in the book of Acts, they met in the homes of Mary. When Peter was in prison, all the believers got together and they met in a home. They didn't have giant buildings. They met in a home. And then when the gospel started going out, Lydia opens up her home in Acts chapter 16. She launches a church from her Bible study, from her prayer group in her home. Jason, it appears, had a church that perhaps met in his home. And one of the most famous was Priscilla and Aquila, that great pastoral team where they met in their home. Paul even encourages the Corinthians in chapter 16, verse 9. He says, greet Priscilla and Aquila and the church that meets in their home. Do you know that your home is the place where the church and gathering of God's people starts? So this coming Sunday, we're going to be live streaming, and I'm sure that all the churches around the world that have the capability to do this will be coming to you online and celebrating a worship service with you in your home. And so my encouragement to you is to make this Easter a unique, special Easter, one that you will remember for the rest of your life. One you will say, God, you met us. You met me in my home with my family where I could experience your resurrection in an authentic way, in a way that I never knew possible. Now look, people have been doing this since the resurrection of Jesus, and they've been doing it all over the world. When I was in China, we experienced a house church that had less than 30 people that crammed themselves into an apartment where people would worship God. And my friends in Iran meet like that. My friends in Turkey meet like that. There are believers that have been meeting in small groups with authenticity and a profound sense of spiritual energy, not because of the production around a giant building or a huge worship service, but because of the resurrection of Jesus in the spiritual power in their hearts and the connectedness that they experience in that community. So this Easter is not going to stink. It's going to be one of the best. And so we encourage you to gather in your homes this weekend. Live stream the services that are on. Our service is going to be live streamed on Facebook. We truly invite you to come and join us for that. And if you want to invite other people that may not have a church home, we encourage you to invite them. And we ask you to be in prayer for all the churches, big churches, medium churches, small churches, house churches. Have people be praying that this Easter would be one of the coolest Easters ever because we deeply, deeply celebrated the resurrection of Christ personally in our hearts and with people that we're most close with, our families. We encourage you that if you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe, and definitely share it with people. check out our other videos on YouTube and also our live streams on Facebook. We want to encourage your hearts every single day. We're going to be doing Hope and Direction every single noon, and tomorrow we're going to be talking about how Jesus offered himself up to us and he went through the darkness in order to bring us light. And we encourage you to come out for our live stream service, which is going to be on 6 o'clock on Friday night. We're going to do a live stream for the Good Friday, and then we will see you again online as we gather for a profound experience on Easter Sunday morning at 10:30. Until then, keep the eyes of your heart focused on Jesus. Let's follow him together.